What's up, guys? Life with a Pepperoni here, and today we'll be working on the Roadster again until it's done. What I've been done is just done for the day in this episode because it's going to take a while still. On Thursdays, I post the Roadster or my main project. Whatever main project I'll be working on, that's going to be the consistent Thursday 1 p.m. PST time thing that I post. And right now we're working on this traditional style Ford Roadster jalopy of 12 different cars in one. And then I've been kind of posting every other Monday, just like kind of extra things that I do, extra stuff and that I filmed in the past, or just stuff that's not related necessarily to the main project. Sometimes it will be, but I just want to keep that. Okay, every Thursday, 1 p.m., Pepperoni's gonna post a video and we can follow along. And then on Mondays, if you guys care to watch and join, that's cool. So today we're gonna be kind of doing a bit different stuff. I'm kind of at a dilemma, and this happens on every single project. A lot of people, like myself, lose motivation, but right now it's not necessarily a motivation thing. I'm kind of lost in direction. And what I mean by that, like, there's nothing really easy to just like, okay, we can bang this off, we can bang this off, we can bang this off, do this in a reasonable amount of time. Where now it's like, okay, like now it's like kind of getting back to bigger stuff, stuff that's not exactly just all we can do right now and right then. I gotta like fab, I gotta do a couple other things, and with the table not here, it's not necessarily easy fabbing stuff. So I'm going to start off. I was reading through the comments of what you guys were saying and stuff, and quite a few mentioned you should post write the list down on the wall behind you, which is what I put that piece of cardboard up for. So then we can follow along and kind of see what still needs to be done, what you have done. We'll check stuff off, and I do this for every project I do. I usually have 10 different lists. But we're going to try it on the wall this time, and then I can like look at it. I can look up and be like, oh, damn, I need to do that. Just putting the screws into here and finding screws took me 20 minutes because I was like, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, I'll do this. And then I was under the car looking at the brakes and like, how am I going to figure that out? And I'm like, none of that really matters right now because today we're doing this stuff. So I'm going to go through this and how I usually do, and we'll just like walk through this together and kind of go from there. It's like we're going back to school, guys. Okay, so this is the 1929 Roadster. Everything needs a title, just makes it easy. I usually classify it, I hope you guys can see that. Hope it's not too dark, I don't know. Classify it into like chassis, body, interior, exterior. So let's go here. So chassis, body, does it go down this far? No, maybe we'll go over here. Interior, exterior. Okay, so these lists are, in my experience, continuously going. Like there's no time where I'm like, oh yeah, I finished the list. Because like once you end something, you're like, oh, I found 10 other things that I got to do, and now I got to do them quickly. So maybe that's a bit better. Hopefully you guys can see that. So like right off the bat, interior wise, I gotta make seats. Mount. Oh, you can't even see me now. Let's do this. Seats / bench. Bottom and back. Then we need to do steering column. Brake linkage. I guess that would be I'm gonna put that under chassis, even though it's inside. It's their gauges. Door cards or door panels. Rear trunk sheet metal. Column mount. Shifter, which we might do this one just because it's like nice and easy. Floorboard. Exterior, we have to do, oh, and then this is like door latches. I also found another, but to do body mounts. So I got to get some more hardwood, some oak or maple. It all aligns with what I seen prior. I just got to bolt it down. So I just got to go with some middle body mount. Let's say that kind of, that's kind of chassis. So let's go to chassis. Okay, we need, move over here. We'll need brakes. Brake master, cylinder, mount. Then we need brake lines. Oh, I'll add another one here. It's called engine. Master cylinder, mount, brake lines, interior. We need wiring. Ignition switch. Okay, we need master cylinder, brake lines, front brakes, shoe install, not pads. Front leaf spring mount. Rear leaf U-bolt. Because we're reading through the comments, I didn't know, but there's a U-bolt that goes over the rear to refrain the rear leaf in, and it's a lot stronger. A lot of you guys were saying it's a lot stronger system, and I completely agree. I just didn't know it existed, so I'm ordering those, and that's what's going in. Gas pedal, I guess that would be interior. Throttle pedal. Chassis, rear shackle bolts, longer, nylock. Master cylinder, brake lines, front, rear. Ooh, exterior. Trunk, mount, exterior. So Rose and Greg messaged me over the weekend. They were on the island at a swap meet, and they're like, hey, what are you looking for? I need like some guide headlights and some exterior latches with the trunk. I'm gonna go exterior. It's actually easier going exterior than it is interior, even though it's just like metal and a hole. I like the look of external latches. My car, I'm gonna do external latches. And they found these really cool, like, it sounds kind of, I don't know, I think they're almost like a heart shaped. They kind of look like a dog bone, like the end of a dog bone. And then that's the upper latch. And then the lower latch goes into a spear. I've never seen that before. I thought it was super cool. They're old chrome. They were 20 bucks. Can't go wrong. So I'll be using those. So excited about that. But see, off topic. So trunk mounts, I got a cut vial Kyle's patches for axle. I think I'm only gonna go probably 1.5 1.25 inches up. I don't have enough room, like a lot of room on my chassis, so it's kind of just enough clearance. That's it. Which reminds me, need rear shocks and front shocks plus mounts. Once I get the front shocks, I'll probably do a video on just mounting both shocks, front and rear. But for now, it's not a thing. I really want to, I always forget about this part. Put reinforcement on front side quarters. What I mean by that, guys and girls, is right there. Let me get my little pointer because it'll be way easier. I find the quarter panel here a bit floppy, as you would assume so, because there's only 14 gauge there holding it up together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go with a panel or a piece of steel, maybe from here to here, triangulate that bit a little bit, maybe put some curve in it, and probably from here to there, make an X. They're both at different profiles, so I should be able to exit without really hitting each other, and it'll look nice. So maybe I'll just go straight here up to here because there's a lot of strength in that corner, but yeah, so that's what I mean when I say put reinforcement there. So what else for the chassis? Chassis. Ooh, we have to, oh, that's body. Install Roadster kick panels, specific kick panels. There's the one, those are the ones that I showed you guys that I have to like cut the seat out and stuff. Steering column support, yes. Ooh, I'll need for random. I'll need lug nuts. Just because mine are horrible. I guess I'll need to latch the rear deck lid latching mechanism. What else, everyone? Oh, I guess I gotta bolt the gas tank down. Body bolt. OG fuel tank down. I still don't know. I'm probably gonna go with an aftermarket fuel tank just for the ease of simplicity and everything. But that'll be later. I might have to like move my supports a little bit, the ones that I did, because you can see they're kind of, the way I did them for kind of like strength. Like they kind of go from there to there, which those are the strength points, which isn't necessarily strong. I mean, roomy full. So I can either put my fuel tank there or maybe right here. Maybe I'll just build a fuel tank that goes there. I mean, it's going to be holding a lot of gas if it's just that small, but I can also just like have that as a storage area. So I'm not exactly sure yet, but I can just put the gas tank there. We'll see. I'm not too concerned about that point yet because we still have to do a lot before we get to the gas tank. Ooh, wiring. Did I do wiring yet? Interior wiring, battery mount. For wiring and stuff, I just bought, I think it was like $65 Canadian. It's a whole 12 fuse wiring harness. Doesn't look old and stuff, but the price was right. I'm trying to do this thing on as much budget as I can, so that's what we're going with. Yeah, I'm trying to think of more stuff that we can put on here, because the more stuff you put on, the more stuff you cross off, the better you feel. Oh, radiator. Let's do engine. Radiator isolator. A lot of you guys commented saying, please install rubber underneath your radiator. And I'm gonna listen because I don't want it to break. And then radiator hoses. I believe the top hose, I'm just gonna use like a corrugated style rubber, and they're like 17 inches long. There's Gates part number. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I did remember it. And then the lowers I showed you guys, I'll probably install those today. I'll find some rubber around here somewhere and we can install that. What else? What else? Move generator 1 inch forward. 12-volt coil, wires, cap, rotor, fuel lines, oil lines. Just have to go get a bunch of like copper wire and stuff, or copper hose, just to like do the oil lines and stuff, because that's how they work from factory. What else? I think that, oh, where's the body? Finish tacking everything to be strong. I'll finish welding everything at some point, but I'm just gonna like go over everything and like make sure all the, like everything's welded where it needs to be and the body's just like tacked really solid, so then I can continue on. Ooh, what else I was gonna do today on body is fix and mount windshield. I was looking at it and there's all the inner structure of where the chassis is and the cowl. It's not, there's no screw holes or anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dissect it all, drill out all the holes that I need to, and on the front cowl panel, both the cowl panel and the windshield, I'll kind of get all that aligned and stuff, just because I don't have to like cut stuff out and I don't have to do other stuff, and that's really like a real pain, and I'm like, I'm gonna get it done today. So also mount front cowl panel. I have a lot of 1/4-20 nuts that I can weld to the back. So go see Snap-on dealer. C/find Snap-on. And yeah, I think we're gonna start doing work now. That was like a bit, and hopefully you guys didn't mind that. I always make lists for everything I do. This is like the first time I haven't, just because like everything that I did, I could see what I could do. I'm like, I know the steering column had to be mounted. I know the shifter had to be done. I know the doors had to close properly. I know the body had to be mounted, but now it's like solid, the windshield not mounted. It's all that stuff that like you can look at it, you can be like, okay, I have to solve that, and kind of go from there. And all this stuff here, it doesn't really work like that. Like, you can see the wiring, but you don't know the wiring has to be done. The ignition switch, the throttle pedal, it's just the steering column mount. The trunk mounts. Like, it's all stuff that you could see, but like, it's stuff you kind of forget about and go, oh man, like I gotta do that. And to me, it's just a nice reminder that I can just look at that list now and go, hey, I gotta do that, rather than, man, what do I have to do? And then think about it. Now my brain's off in la la land trying to think of other things. And then I'll be like, man, I have to do the grill. I have to do this. I have to do that. I didn't even put the grill on there because I should. I think we're gonna, you guys tell me what you guys like better, but I think I'm gonna go body, shorten grill. I'm gonna go like 2 inches ish instead of the 3 it was. So last week's episode wasn't exactly all for nothing, or 2 weeks ago. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at. Ooh, yeah, I got the brakes and everything, got brake lines. So that's the list that we got to do. And I'm going to be adding to it. And yeah, we'll be able to all knock it off together. But for now, I think what I'm going to tackle, I know I said the radiator, but I think we'll tackle the windshield first. If we get the windshield all done in a reasonable amount of time and the cowl, then we'll see how these lower rad hoses work. But this is already almost 20 minutes long of me rambling, and I'm sure you guys want to see work, not hear the process of how I'm going to do it. And if you do, let's just comment below and just let me know if you guys like this. So yeah, I'm going to get started on this windshield right now, and we're going to do this. Okay, so Vile Kyle did this, and he did a great job. And now we're going to take away his work and see what else he has to do. So, ooh, these screws are really in there. They're in there so tight, they're not even wanting to go in. Huh. Ha 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 ha. I wonder why. I wonder if... Huh. I'm gonna have to take that apart and see. And see why it does not want to work. Okay. For now, okay, we're gonna take these off. There's one. And let me know if you guys like live video rather than time lapse. Like, there's some stuff that I'm always gonna time lapse, but like, if you're enjoying this live video and just like watching me struggle in real time, then just let me know. Because I'll do more of it. It just like, it's gonna be like more videos, because you can fit, like, time lapse is very fast considering what it's about. So like when I do time lapse, it's usually 5 to 8 times the speed. So, oh no, those are all lost. They're all lost. Okay. Lost forever. Okay. Wow, those are real butchered. Wow. Okay. I'm going to take that other one off and I'll show you guys what we're dealing with. I think what we're going to have to do is... let's kind of make a plate for the back of this. I don't know, I'll take some like 10 gauge or something. And yeah, go from there. Okay, so that one is snapped, and oh, that's a good hole. So one of these are snapped. I'm gonna have to drill that one out. That's gonna suck. But it kind of gives me a good idea on this side now. So right here, you can see that piece, there's a bracket from there that goes all the way down here. And I can't see where it welds in or anything, but it looks like it
right there. It's riveted in. And then there's another hole. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drill this one out right now, retap that one. That's a 5/16 thread. So I probably don't have the bolts for this, but at least we can get this one done. And then I can make one for that side. And at least we can like mount the windshield properly and kind of like go through the top and see what it needs. So there's that. And then we have one hole to drill out there and one hole to drill out over there. And these ones are good. So we're going to use a lot of anchor lube today, guys and girls. Everyone, YouTube.
So here we got my favorite stuff, anchor lube. They sent me the bottle, but like I'm not sponsored or anything. I just asked them, and man, it makes dull bits just bite through the metal. It's fantastic. I would use this stuff over any other stuff any day of the week. For sure.
The longest time, I didn't know these existed. So what they are, they're just like tap sockets. So you just put your tap in them. Find the one that fits it the smoothest, like that one there. Put it on your socket, and you can just, or your ratchet, and you can just use them. They're the best. I love these things. I don't even know what brand this one is. I should probably clean up, but I'm not. So we're gonna do this. So we mentioned that it might be 5/16. It's gonna go in there and see. I wonder if it's fine thread. Yep.
So here I am trying to tap and drill out the previous holes, and big mistake on my part is I'll show you guys later, but I went a bit too big on the tap just because like I guess the old hole was so worn out and everything that I just assumed it was bigger. So I guess it was a big 5/16, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be 3/8. So I went in with the 3/8 tap and stuff, and well, it was a bit too big. And here I'm just struggling taking out the old bolt from the actual hole. So
when it's in Carl, got myself a 3/8 fine tap because I didn't have one. I had 4 regular, but no fine threads. So now we're just gonna tap this up and go from there. Just kidding. They're not 3/8. They're 5/16. So here we go. So I screwed up. The original hole that I drilled it was too big, and then I tapped it, and then since these are smaller, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to weld this hole up here, and then I'm just going to drill the proper size hole and then retap it in a 5/16. So that's what we're going to do. Fixing my own screw-ups because I didn't know. So I'm just going to weld this up quickly, and then I'll let it cool down so then the metal gets back to normal temperature, and then I'll re-drill it and tap it so it's not hardened.
So here I am just welding up that hole. I kind of do a perimeter portion around it, and then I get the middle, and then I just do the back side just to make sure that it's all the way through.
As you can see, I left a little hole in the middle, so that'll kind of be my center spot. So I'll drill that out. I went from behind. Can't really see, but I got that big plug. So now when I go in, just follow that, go through, go to 5/16 size, and then I'll be good. And while this cools down, I'm gonna let it cool down. I'm gonna go on the other side and start making the piece for that side. So as I was having my coffee, I was trying to think of how to do this hole, and then there's a third hole there, as I guess that's how that back piece is in and bolted in and secured. So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna get a piece of paper. I'm gonna do it on the front side and then cut the outer perimeter of it. And then I'll cut that out, and then I'll put that on the inside. I'll mark the holes, and then I will just drill the holes, cut out the profile, and go from there. Usually I would do this on the CNC machine, but I don't have that here right now. So I'm gonna do this by hand the old school way, like they would do. No, they would have cut it with a torch in the 40s, like they would have done in the 60s. I think 60s they had a grinder or something by then, so we'll do that. So you got this old piece of paper, you put it on the flat area there. This is the best way to do it. Your dirty fingers, you just rub on the perimeter. You can see a perfect, I can probably do the holes too. Oh yeah, you can do the holes too. Look at that. Look at that. So there is our piece. Kind of see it there. So you can see that's like kind of the indent here where that lip is. And then there's that. So I'm going to cut this out right now. Following it pretty exact, because if you follow this exact, then your piece of metal is going to be exact. This probably won't be exact because I'm not good at this, so we'll do that. So that's going to go right there. There's a bit more meat there. I think we're going to have to trim this bottom piece just a little bit. The angle's a bit wrong, I think. There we go. So yeah, there's that. This upper hole is a bit off, but that's okay. So now that that's there, oops, might be able to drop that in there. I guess we don't really need this bottom piece so much. This can kind of get like fine lined a bit because these holes are going to be a bit smaller just because they're going to be 5/16. And then we won't have to weld them like we did the other ones. So this has to go in there, so if your paper fits, the rest of it will fit. The metal will fit. Okay, so pretty much, okay, this has to be thinner again. So there we go. Okay, so there's my marker. Hold that. Don't pull out another marker because I got like 5 of them. We're gonna do our little holes. Oh no, that disappeared. You won't believe it. Out of all places it could go. It went in there. Oh. So here I have a piece of 3/16. And I'm gonna, ooh, that was a disgusting noise. Just gonna put this one here. I'm gonna trace it. Like that. And then what I'm gonna do is I'll take my prick punch and I will spring punch. Hold this like that, and then I'll go in the center. And now those are all those are all marked out for us. And then now I'm gonna go get my drill bits and just drill 3 holes and tap them. So here we are, just getting ready to drill the 3 holes. I usually use an 1/8 inch bit just to kind of get my pilot hole ready. I always go from small to bigger. I don't know if that's a normal thing that you're supposed to do. That's just what I've always done because all my drill bits are usually pretty shit shape and I just haven't got new ones. So here I'm kind of drilling for the 5/16 hole, and then we'll tap it afterwards. Which tapping, it's not a big deal to a lot of people, but to me it is. When I was like 14 or 15, I was grade 8 pre-apprenticeship at Hastings Brass and Aluminum Foundry. They're a non-ferrous foundry. And first day, just a kid, I went there and they were like, oh, you got to tap these holes. And well, that movement of the camera literally was my day. First or second hole I tapped, it was a tapping head on a table. It was a 110-year-old machine. I broke the entire thing. And that set my life up for tapping holes until even this day. Scares the hell out of me. I just think of this tapping head gonna explode. So that's all tapped. Screws go in good. So now I'm just gonna follow this line. I'll cut on the line, or well, on the inside, and then I'm gonna take 2 crescent wrenches and I'll just like bend it a little bit just to match the original portion, and we'll be good to go. So there we have that piece. I might have to shave a bit off here. I don't know what happened there. Ooh, that fits good. Oh no, 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 no. Oh, that's hot. Cool, so now I just gotta bend this. Bend this a little bit, and then we'll be good. So this is the closest thing I have to a vise here, so we're gonna try it. So we go like that. I don't have another crescent wrench, so. There we go. And then it has to go maybe back a little bit. Yeah. I just have to cut some of here. So I got this piece all in. So hopefully I can put this in with one hand. These holes are pretty good. So I'll just have to put a set screw in the middle one and this is stripped. That's what this is. Nice. Got it. Whatever little screw this is. Let's go check my stash. Cool, that's all fixed. This upper one was kind of, it was already screwed up, but I don't know, there's some threads on there, so we're gonna go with it. I'm assuming those go on the driver's side. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll put that stanchion in first, and then see, I couldn't get in here when the actual windshield would be in, so yeah, so that's fine. Hell yeah. Oh, that's so exciting. I could have bent this piece a little bit more, but I'll show you guys after. I'm not too worried. Ho, 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 ho. I don't know why the front windshield has been like stressing me out the entire time. So for it to be finally like kind of together is very exciting for me. Ooh, I gotta put these screws in. The other day, I got these little nice screws. What I mean by pretty, they're just like rounded head. They're just nice. They're stainless. Oh, look at that. Oh, I sucked it right in. Oh, exciting. Okay, that one's in. Ooh. I might have to go over these threads next. Here's that thread chasing set that I was talking about. It is one of the best investments I've ever done in my entire life. And yeah, I'm sure you can get on Amazon. This is just a snap-on one. When I was working at this shop, it was just made more sense for me to do payments on it. But they're not that expensive. Like after searching them, I should have just bought the cheap one because that's what it was. But yeah, this one goes from M6 to M14 and then 1/4 inch to 9/16. So it gets pretty wide, both fine and thread, male and female, like a thread and a nut. So, or a bolt, I mean. But yeah, fully suggest this. I have to go through the nuts. They're like super rough. Just like a 3/8, 24. That is all in. Hell yeah. So much more solid now that's bolted together. Oh. So excited. So excited. Super stoked. So let's get drilling more holes. I guess now we'll go to this. Now we'll do the dash mount. We'll drill out that hole, kind of see how it goes and go from there. Man, I started drilling these and they ended up being so easy. They're a brass screw and I was like, oh man, this is not drilling steel, so I'm happy with it. So biting through these two was super easy. Then I just went with a 1/4 20 tap and tapped some new holes into there and Bob's your uncle. That actually went a lot easier than I thought. So it turned out there was brass screws in there, so drilling them out was super simple. It just came out. So I'm just gonna put this on now. Oh. Goes like this. There we go. So there we have it. Windshield is locked in, super solid, super happy with that. These beautiful bolts are a bit too big, so they hit this, but they kind of lock it in place, so that's a good thing, right? But yeah, that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Got our list. Ooh, we almost forgot. Let's do this. Where's body? Where's windshield? Did we even write windshield down here? Interior. Install, roadster, tank, finish. We don't even get to knock anything off the list. I swear we wrote it down. Oh well, I can't see it. Body. Mount. Windshield. One more thing off the list that we just made. The cowl too, but we're gonna have to take this back off so we can screw down the old gas tank and go from there. But yeah, there we have it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and please like, hit subscribe. Subscribing helps lots, and enjoy your week. And keep on at her. An hour a day at least, even 10 minutes, 15 minutes today is 15 minutes less you gotta do in the future. Take care. See ya.